Alright, let's see. Okay, I got the big old hifonics back there. And I'm sorry I didn't video it because I had to use my phone for Bluetooth test tones and I forgot the GoPro. And then I went to help a buddy of mine go hook up an air conditioner. So on the way I did some metering, and the best I can get out of that amp is a 145, and we'll go and see what frequency that was. All right. Let's see. All right. Now the frequency is a little different, I think, but I was playing with the windows and stuff to try to get the loudest I could get out of that thing, and it may be different from the other one. So let's see. 44 hertz on this one. And it dropped to 14.5 volts in the front, and that was that clipping because I got the remote hooked up here, and this thing will flash green on pre-clip and amber, soft clip, red, hard clip. So I seen it go green, a little bit yellow, and on some test tones I could get it go all the way red, but I tried to stay out of that. I got it to where it started flashing right at the green for these tests when I came back and got the meter. So give you a little quick look see, and man, I tell you what, I don't know what the forums are talking about, because this amp, it's a little bit warm, and I guess maybe they had bad voltage or something, because this thing, man, it didn't touch my electrical system. It's still pretty solid. Even hard clipping, it was staying in the 14s with the red light. So what I did here is I got two 400 amp fuses. This thing calls for 800 amp fusing on the old sheet I found on it. This is two pieces of 2-aught going to that limitless lithium. And then I left my other amp hooked up. I just put the two leads going to the hifonics amp. I flipped them around, put them under there, because I didn't feel like pulling all that out. So eventually I'm going to put that back. But so far those are my settings. And as you can see, turn the boost and the phase and all that off, and my low pass filter, I guess it might be a little high. It's probably around, I don't know, 100 hertz or a little less, but I'm feeding it a full signal. So I'll come around this other side. So here's the wire feeds, and those are that's 2-aught welding lead, and I was able to reuse my speaker wires, the 8 gauge that goes to that amp. But the problem is the positive and negatives are different than that amp. They're swapped around, so I swapped them around right there on the back of the box. It was the easiest thing to do. So it's a little warm, guys, but this thing is, you know, that's for a half bridge amp, you know, that's to be expected. And so I got this thing up off of here. Let's see if you can see. I put some little spacers to hold it up, and I also got the fan where that hole is. So it seems to be doing okay. And I think that'll be it for this. I may do some more experimenting with it. I really didn't plan on making this video today. I just did a quick test because I just got it all working last night, and it was too dark to do anything, and I was tired. So But there she is. That's the old Sampson XXV Sampson hifonics 8,000 watt ultra class D. Okay, so some final thoughts. I'll try to do a demo soon with the hifonics 8K. I'm sure it was getting some rise. Like I run that 16K B2 Riot, and I'm not getting the whole 16K to the 2 subs in the back. The subs, I can't wire down to 1/2 ohm. I was gonna try that, but what I got is 2 dual 1 ohm 12s. So right now, the way they're wired is 2 ohms a piece each sub. Then they're paralleled down to 1 ohm. So the amp's running 1 ohm, and I'm sure there's some rise. I don't know how much. I guess I would have to try and I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to get an AMM one. I don't really have time right now to do some more power testing and stuff because I work in the Gulf of America. Used to be Gulf of Mexico, and I do a 2-week hitch out there. So I won't be back till, let me see here, till the 31st. So it'll be like 2 weeks. And just final thoughts. I mean, it's working. The board says 2007, so it's at least the guts are 18 years old. It's an old amp. Pretty powerful. It's a half bridge amp. Old stuff, you know. I abused the hell out of it today to see if it could take it, and it could. Tom will tell I may just leave it in there for a while, you know. I don't know if y'all can think of any questions to ask about it. You can look up the specs online on this amp. It's hifonics, man. You know, Maxonics. I don't like Maxonics. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I feel like they're ripping you guys off. You know, they make, I guess, decent stuff. Some stuff not so decent. But at least be truthful on your power ratings. Don't sell some kid a 2500 watt amp that makes like 1800 watts, you know. That's like ripping you off. If you're gonna make a 2500 watt amp, make it 2500 watts and charge appropriately. I'm sure people gonna buy it. You know, they gotta lie about the ratings to get people to buy these low. To me, it's a budget amp, you know, a brand. I know Maxonic's been around a while. And another thing, like Epsilon Electronics, they own Power Acoustic and some others. That's another one, man. And Boss Audio, all these little budget brands. At least be truthful. If your shit makes 400 watts and it's a 2000 D amp, tell them it's 400 watts, at least in the fine print somewhere in the manual, you know. That's all we ask. Be truthful. We hadn't put the tar amps back in Beast Kebab's car. He wants to tomorrow. It's just been sitting around. He's been busy. We old and we work. So, you know, shit ain't free. Car audio, like I had a little rant on my other one about, you know, the cost of stuff and whatever. But look, they got some good budget stuff out there. You don't have to you know, be the loudest or whatever. Trust me, man, it's easy to get into 140s nowadays, and you can do it basically with like 212s and, you know, a decently powered amp. I'm doing it, you know, it depends on your vehicle. All vehicles got different acoustics. Smaller vehicle, louder you're gonna get usually. I mean, some people building like 4th orders and 6th orders, and that stuff's huge, man. And the boxes are doing a lot of the amplification of that. And you're basically turning your vehicle into a big subwoofer enclosure. And your front windows, when you roll them down or whatever, is the port. So, yeah, that's cool and all, but that's not my bag. I just like, you know, just little systems and stuff. So you coming on my page looking for like big breathing systems and floating pillows and t-shirts and all that, no. I don't know anybody like that. Sorry. But, you know, I don't do this for money. I got some videos with thousands of views. I got some with hundreds of views. You know, I ain't trying to outdo anybody. I ain't trying to break world records. I'm just doing some things that some people probably think's interesting. Some not so interesting. Put your little thumbs down. You know, if you're gonna leave a thumbs down on people's pages, at least leave a reason, you know. I appreciate all the love from the people I do get. I got lots of thumbs ups. I got a decent amount of subscribers so far. I hope y'all enjoy these videos. I just do them for fun, I guess, for me. I do other things as well. So far, just mostly got the car stereo stuff. But, I don't know. I just had some time lately to do this, and just think of something else to post on there, and you guys got some ideas or questions, especially on this hifonics and stuff like that. Now the Tahoe, getting back to the Tahoe, I can break a 150 with those 212s, but it takes a shit ton of power. That little box is actually too small for them 12s. It's a 4 cubic foot, and those are resilient sound onyx, and they require a big old box. You can put the wrong subwoofer in a different box. The smaller a box, the higher you're gonna peak. Like, you know, and that one I get like 40s in the tuning frequency range, even in a big vehicle like the Tahoe. I mean, some people like that, you know. Some of them little cheaper boxes you buy, like the little bass bombs and stuff, when you meter them, man, they're gonna be around 45 hertz. That's the magic number I've seen. But I guess a lot of music, I guess rap music and dance music and stuff, you know, that's pretty common. Now, I like loud and low. I would love to put a bigger box in there and be hitting like down in the low to mid 30s, but I'm not compromising my Tahoe for that. Plus, I'm too old for all that crap. Now, a little Yaris, man, it does pretty good. I'm peaking out around 36 hertz, and it's pretty good. I like that low bass. You can be loud, but not low. So when you see people like breaking 50s and stuff, when they doing that like in the 20s and 30s, that's some good stuff. That's that breathing bass, you know, floating stuff. 40s and stuff, that's gonna be some little stuff like I got, something you got in your trunk maybe, unless you got a fairly big box. It's important if you want that to sound right. Try to get a box that you know, is right for those subwoofers, maybe even a little bit bigger. You don't have to put quite so much power on them. But when, like my Tahoe, I got them big powerful 12s in that little box. Yeah, I can throw a shit ton of power at them because the box is small. It's not efficient, as you can see, but I mean, just try some things, you know, experiment. There's so many variables to this that some things will get you in the ballpark, but to get exactly this or that, sometimes it just takes some tweaking, some experimenting, and you know, basic community, y'all be good to each other, man. Don't like I think it was Jerry Ain't Loud. He made a good point one time on one of his videos. He's like, in this, basically, don't be a dick, you know. So don't be a dick. Enjoy what you got, man. And till next time, I'll see you guys later.